I got what you're saying.
All right, we are live. I'm just gonna wait a couple seconds to let everyone kind of hop on.
What's your name again? Emily.
These are the products you're using.
Yeah. Right here. And the diffuser. And probably this hairspray also.
All right, we have a viewer.
Are we on that one? No. We're not on yet, right?
Yeah, we are. We have 2 viewers, so you can start whenever. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mario with HantzPro.com, and today Emily and I are going to show you an awesome routine to do with your hair, especially if your hair is curly. The few things that you will need for sure, and this is exciting because a lot of you guys that are out there don't know what this is, and this is actually a diffuser. And what the diffuser does is it's going to make her hair really, really curly, and those spots that she has that might be straight, they're going to be even more curly. And my object today is get this hair as big as possible. So the first thing is make sure you have a diffuser. We're going to be using the Hant Glacé gel that we have from HantzPro.com, and also we're going to be using our styling glaze from HantzPro.com. Now, depending on the hold that you want, again, this is a more stronger hold and this is less hold, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the two together. So before we start, the most important thing is we shampooed her with our Volute Glacé shampoo. We did the Posh conditioner on her today, and I have to make sure that her hair is plenty moist, plenty wet all over, and that way I can bring up the hair here. I'm going to take it in sections. She's been sitting for a little while, so I'm going to spray the hair with the water first, make sure she's evenly wet all the way through. Okay, we're going to add the styling glaze to her hair first. Real soft through the hair, all the way from the base to the ends, base to the ends, base to the ends. If you like to get a little bit bigger curl out of this, what you want to do is you can turn this color.
Base to the ends.
It's a little loud.
Base to the ends.
Turn that.
If you like to get a little bit bigger curl out of this.
And we're going to keep taking these pieces here, and we're going to take them and we're going to go in circles here. Turn that. Turn that circle there. Is that messing that up? Okay. I'm going to take another section here, all the way across. And we're going to wet this section as well, making sure that the hair is plenty wet all the way through.
All the way across.
And I'm going to grab again the styling glaze. Each section, if you don't have time to do this at home, you can go ahead and just flip your head over and just put it all in there together. So we're going to go ahead and do this all the way through. Okay, go up there.
Yeah,
It's okay. So I'm just grabbing these sections, and you can see her hair starting to curl already there. I'm doing this pretty fast here. We're going to take this last section here.
Grab these sections, and you can see her hair starting to curl already.
Add a little bit more styling glaze. Run it through her hair.
This last section here.
Run it through her hair. And we can turn these sections again. Turn them. I'm going to grab it here, and we're going to continue turning that hair in little sections here. Now, you don't have to do this at home. The only reason why I'm doing this today is because it's an education video, and you guys can do this at home. So some people don't have that curl evenly throughout the head, so it's important to do this in the sections that they don't have that curl on. All right, we're almost done here. Let's take that last section here on top. You can also use a comb lightly, just bring that comb through the hair here. Add more of your styling glaze. At the end, what I'm going to do also is I'm going to go in and I'm going to take the Hant Glacé, and that's going to give her that extra style there. That extra hold, should I say. All right, let's do these ends all together here. I'm going to take this in 2 sections. Okay, you got your bottom and then you have your top. Now you might feel like, wow, I'm putting a lot of gel in there, but you want to make it feel like almost like if you didn't completely rinse out your shampoo or conditioner. That's the way your hair, it almost wants to feel like a soapy feeling. Now again, it's not soap, we're using gel, but the more product that you put in there, the better the curl is going to hold, and it's going to take a lot of that frizz out too. Try not to be so tough with the client like I am also. But she's tough, huh, Emily?
Yeah.
All right, so as you can see there, those start to curl up just a little bit on their own. We got 2 more sections here. Add a little bit more styling glaze. Run it through the top, run it through the bottom, and lightly curl, especially around that hairline. Those little tiny curls there, they sometimes want to curl too much. So if you do wrap the hair in your fingers, then it's going to be a lot easier for that curl to curl for you. It won't get too little bushed up in the front there. So we're going to do that one more time. Right here. All right. I recommend offsetting the part a little bit, but I like her part down the middle, so we're going to leave her down the middle. Now, when she's done, what you want to do is you want to slide her down to the back of her neck. So put her back and have her push all the way back this way a little bit. And then push your feet up this way. So now what you have is you have her almost hanging here. So then you start to loosen that base up just a little bit. Okay? And then if you like, let me roll this one a little bit more. Then if you like, then you want to add in your Haunt Glacé, and this is going to give it that extra hold for you, okay? So we're going to add a little bit of that on top of everything. And these are 2 products that you're going to love to use on curly hair. So we tap this around her base and just kind of squeeze it in there real lightly. Now her hair feels really, really heavy from the product, but once it dries, it's not going to be heavy at all. Once we got that part done, in the salon, you always want to have the client comfortable if you're having her put her head back like that. And then you want to spray it one more time. So if we're going to spray this hair, just lightly. Okay.
That's water we're spraying.
Yes, and that's water we're spraying at that point. I'm going to open this up just a little bit so you guys can see a little better. So I'm going to take this cape off here, and we're going to place this towel right underneath here. Let me sit up just a second. Your back a little more. And then, there we go. And then push back your head. Okay, I put that there so that way you guys can see a lot easier. With that cape, the hair tends to get lost. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the diffuser. When you use a diffuser, you have a multi-diffuser that fits on any type of blow dryer. As you can see in there in that hole, you can use any type of blow dryer in there. Okay? And that fits really well. You don't want to put it on a high speed, but you want to put it on a high heat. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to go in there and you're going to bake the hair. Now when I say bake it, you're not touching it. Once you put that product in the hair, all you're going to do is just sit there and bake it. If you go in small circles when you're doing this, it's important. And just go small circles just like this. Anybody that you can share this video with, anybody that you know that has curly hair, even if you don't have curly hair, I suggest that you try the product, try the diffuser, and you'll be surprised how much curl you'll get in your hair. A lot of people, especially when I was in the salon, and most people like to do perms, but me, I really didn't. So a lot of the times what I would do is I would recommend the client some product and to buy a diffuser, and they like their hair curly right after I was done, and I didn't have to perm it. But I recommend doing the service, so make sure you guys maximize your service and always introduce a perm or use a diffuser as well. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm going in circles real slow. As I start to bake that in there, what I can do is I can go in there real slow and just put it right into the ends. Not a lot. You got to be really gentle with this curl, because if you start to dry it too soon, it'll start to frizz on you, okay? So bake that a little bit more. When you're diffusing hair, it's not in a hurry. It almost takes just as much time as if I was to use a round brush in her hair. She's got quite a bit of hair, and just lightly use it at home, and then when you're done, you can just walk out the door. I didn't mean to drop it on her. It gets a little warm. Remember that. So if it gets hot, it'll start to loosen up. So if you want to hold that, you don't want that to happen. So go in circles real slow. Keep baking that hair really well. And then you can start. This is where they start to say lightly diffuse. This is called lightly diffusing. Lightly diffusing. It's almost like a bowl. So if you see the bowl, you put all the hair inside the bowl and then you start to diffuse it and you hold it there. That's called diffusing. A lot of people get confused when you hear the word scrunch. You don't want to ever scrunch the hair, and I'll tell you when it's appropriate to scrunch. But if you don't bake it in the hair first, you're not going to get the result that you need. Just keep continuing doing that. And try not to move the hair too fast, because if you do move the hair too fast, it will start to frizz right away. Just keep going in circles here, small circles. Now her hair naturally doesn't get those big of curls. Her natural hair is real pretty ringlets, but I wanted to share with you guys that technique just to change her curl up just a little bit. As you can see there, all those little curls in there start to form real nice and light. As you continue doing this, it's important that you practice this as well. If you have little sisters or you have people that have long hair in your family, always practice this technique before you do it on a client. Because if you're not putting that product in there correctly, you're going to end up with a lot of product and no curl. So you have to practice the amount that you put in their hair. At that, go ahead.
Is there any alcohol in your products that you're using?
I believe there's a little bit, but not enough to dry the hair out.
So you want to be careful with
Right,
that.
so you want to, yeah. There's very little. Okay, now as you can see here, it's starting to ring out real nice in these curls here. You can see that curl is starting to ring out real nice. The next step, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have the client, you're going to lower the chair, and when you have her put her head over, now pay attention to this when you have the client sit up. You're going to have the client sit up real slow. Okay, we're going to put this back on her here. Okay, I'm going to turn the chair here. Watch your feet on the floor. You have the client put her feet on the floor, and you're going to have her flip her head over and let it go real slow. You don't want to move that hair. You see how I shifted it forward, but what I didn't do is just have her flip her head completely over really fast. So by doing that, it's going to keep all that curl together, and her hair is really, really hanging from the bottom. So the reason that I do that is because I got to bake it from the back also. So baking that curl real slow all the way around, that's what's going to keep all her back really nice. Try not to move it too well, and again, I'm just in there going small circles and getting that product in there. Small circles. Try not to put your hands in it yet. And then lightly diffuse. This is called lightly diffuse. As you can see, her head isn't going that way. It's not horizontal. Her head's almost upside down. And by being upside down, what that's going to do is it's going to have that hair come off the scalp, and that's going to give her maximum volume. Now I can go in there and start to lightly rake my fingers in there. You see that light motion that I do with my fingers? That's what you want to do, and that's what's going to help that hair start to curl at that base. So lightly rake. You have to be soft with it. Circle motions just like I'm doing here. Circle motions. Now I'm not scrunching yet, so notice that you don't see any time that I've scrunched yet. I don't start to scrunch until the hair is almost 80% dry. Okay, now a very key point again here is if she's having her hair this way, if she turns her hair to the left, that allows all of her side pieces to come straight out from the root, and that's going to give her maximum volume as well. So you always have the client turn her head to the left, and notice if I don't want to do the ends anymore, I can go in there and just kind of go in light circles. The rake pieces in here is going to help diffuse the hair and get it loosened up a little bit. So we're going light circles. So how are we doing so far, Rachel? Do we have any followers?
Good. Yeah, we have about 20 Carls on.
All right.
Brittany says she loves curly hair, and Andrea from her 7. All of them are on.
Okay, now you have her. You can see I'm having her turn her head the opposite way. Okay, if you get these pieces in here, separate those just a little bit. And you can almost, if you have that right there, this is important. If you have a piece like that right there, right here, that you can see how it starts to dry, you can wet it a little bit, add a little bit more gel, and just kind of define it. Because that later on will catch up to you. Maybe that's the only piece that I might have missed in her hair, but now we're on the side here. Continue to diffuse, lightly diffuse all that curl. If you see these back hairs here, grab these hairs here and put them into there. Everything's like a bowl of noodles, okay? You want like a bowl of spaghetti. Grab that hair and put all the hair in there, especially this hair in the back. I grab the hair and I put it in the bowl, and then I lightly diffuse. As you can see, light circles. Be aware also with the client, if the neck starts to hurt, let them sit up for a few minutes. But Emily's pretty tough, so we're not worried, right, Emily? All right, so continue just going light circles. Wherever you feel the heaviness at, go back and dry a little more. But like I was saying, in the salon, if your client's neck does start to hurt, have her sit up. Don't have her flip her hair back really hard, but I'm going to show you, just like we were in the salon, if she was in the salon, we would have her, if her neck started to hurt, because I want this to be a salon experience. So if she was in the salon, you would have her just lightly sit up, lightly there. You see how I pushed her back? I didn't have her flip her hair back yet, but I had her go up just slightly. Now, if she wants to put her hair up just slightly here, and explain to the client she's going to have that curl in her, and bring that curl back real soft here. And then she can rest her neck. Again, we're going to go the opposite way. Let's rest her neck again. And go ahead and push your neck all the way back. There you go. If she starts to dry at the base, again, she's got a little bit of she's drying just a little bit at the base. Just wet her base just a little bit so it doesn't get out of control until her ends dry evenly. All right. We're just going to continue to lightly diffuse. Lightly diffuse. Curly hair is something that's not always easy to work with, so you have to practice with it. If you get into a salon experience and you have curly hair clients, they're going to love you forever, especially when you can style it, and especially when you go in there and they just want to trim, because when curly hair people get a trim, it really needs a trim. If you cut their hair too much, then it's really like a haircut. Curly hair stretches again when you cut it. So I'm just going to continue to dry this in the hair. And now I think it's getting to that point where I can almost scrunch it, but it still feels a little heavy. You don't want it to feel heavy. Continue. Pushing all that hair in there. See how I gather all that hair and just hold it in there. Watch for the heat on the client's scalp. If they start to get hot, you just tell them just to raise their hand, because sometimes in the salon you can't hear with the blow dry going. And I have all that hair just sitting in there. I'm going to do this about 2 more times, just from each side to each side, to make sure that she's dry. And then we're going to go in there and we're going to start to scrunch it, because it's getting to that point now. We're just going to hold it in there. Make sure you grab all the hair, put it in the bowl. Put it in the bowl and hold it. If you're at home, you want to just flip your head over. It's really simple, and you can do this at home yourself. It's a lot of patience when you're doing this. You don't ever want to rush this. Alright, that's one. This will be my third one here. And then after this, I'm going to have her flip her head one more time. Maybe a couple more times. But I'm going to really get into it now. I'm going to really get that product moving around in there. And you can see there's no flakiness. It's not too strong. I put quite a bit of gel in her hair. And there's not a lot of flakiness. And it has a lot of curl right now. It's warm with these lamps in here, huh? A little different. The first time I learned this, I was really excited because you can make a lot of people that don't have curly hair curly. That's what the diffuser is for. I think every stylist should have a diffuser in their station. Because you can't blow dry every single person's hair straight in the salon. It just doesn't make sense. You have to get different textures of hair. Okay, now she's about 80% there. We're going to have her flip her head over. Okay, now we're really going to get, now you're going to start to see me shake it a little more. You can see me shake, and this is where we're going to start to scrunch. That curl is really pretty all the way down. Look how nice that curl is all the way through her hair. And now I can get in there, and now I can start to scrunch it lightly. Now when you say scrunch, I scrunch at the base, and it's almost like you're pulling the hair tight at the root, but you're grabbing it and you're holding it. That's scrunching, okay? You scrunch at the base first, and that opens that hair up. Scrunch, okay? I'm not pulling her hair, I'm just shaking it so that way you guys can see in the Facebook Live that I'm moving that hair around. You see how I shake it? That's taking it, that's what's called scrunch. Okay, a lot of people go in there and start scrunching that hair, it goes crazy, and that's where you'll start to get all those flyaways. But when you start to scrunch, go ahead and sit just a little bit. That's what scrunching is called, right there. Don't worry if the hair starts to get too dry. You want it to almost 90% dry, and then we're going to spray it with our Breeze Glossary hairspray. And I didn't tell you we're going to use that today, but I'm going to show you what that hairspray does. Now I'm kind of going in there and just shaking it. That's scrunching, 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 scrunching. Like I'm saying the same words over and over, but it's okay. Okay, it's getting there, guys. So as I go around, it starts to loosen up. Her hair's starting to dry a lot now. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like this for a second. We're going to go ahead and grab our Breeze Glossé hairspray. Man, it is warm in here today. So, and from a long distance away, you don't want to spray the hairspray too close. You spray it from a far distance like this. You see how it kind of cascades over the hair? You have her sit up. You cascade it here. I'm gonna have you flip it again. Just slight circles from a distance. Open that hair up. Get in that front hairline a little bit. Okay? Get under here. Get that front hairline. And layers. You have to get that layers. You don't always 10 to 12 inches probably when you're applying this. Okay, now flip your head over again. Alright. Now you can go in there and get that diffuser and really scrunch that hair. So we're going to go in there and we're really going to scrunch it. And that's going to keep that hair together and really big. One more time here. How are we doing on time right now?
I don't know. We start at 9:45. It's 10:11. Almost a half hour.
Wow, we're doing pretty good. So. All right. So continue. As you can see the hair, now it's getting really, really big and really defined and curly. Have her tilt her head to the side. No, turn towards me. Get that side hair. Now your clients at first are going to be a little nervous about the curl because it's a lot bigger curl than what they're used to. But you want to show them the bigger curl because they don't know what they have until you really show them and express to them that true style. Go ahead and look the other way. I think this curl looks gorgeous so far.
It's beautiful.
Now Emily's wouldn't wear her hair like this to her school because I don't think this fits for her age.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little older style.
It's a little older style, but
she's 10.
You know, some of you guys that are in Texas, and I'll get some different age models eventually in my other videos, but you want some big hair. A lot of people love big hair. You know, it's not to say that this won't come back, you know?
That's true. That could turn into a real cute, like, messy bun, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For her age.
If you wanted to pin it up afterwards, it'd be great. Okay, well, this last step, what you want to do, you have the client sit up. Okay. You bring the hair slightly back here. And then you start to bring the hair and let it go in its natural state. Bring it back real light here. And you see, I can stretch it. Whenever pieces aren't working for me, I can go in there and I can spray them with a little bit of hairspray, and I'll do that in a second. But the main thing, Rachel, what you want to get here is all this pretty curl back here, all through here. That's really pretty. Loosen it up a little bit so it has some dimension. And you can see here, I didn't get all these curls the same. I wanted them, you can see some bigger curls in there. You can see some smaller curls. And that's why I twisted her hair the way I did.
And this is all natural. No perm.
No perm, nothing.
Yeah. Did you know that your hair could get this curly? No, it's new.
On the sides here, go ahead and get all that side curl. And I think what I'll have her do is I'll have her flip her head one more time in a second. And I really want to get that base area a little more, okay? But I really wanted to show off how well that product makes that hair curly. I mean, that's beautiful like that. Okay, I'm going to have her flip her head one more time. Well, let me spray right here. That's Todd just wants to keep straight. Okay. And now I'm going to shake it now. Get in there and really spray it one more time in that root area. And I'm going to shake it.
What's nice too about this is her hair is not crunchy, it's soft with all that product.
You can see how I'm going in there and shaking it. And this is going to really make her hair big. She's going to flip her head over and really might be like, wow, that's really curly. So now I went in there and shook it one more time. I'm just taking her to the next level. Her hair's really going to be big now. I'd see in the beginning I told you not to touch it, and then towards the end, when she's 90 to 100% dry, then you could go in there and really shake it. And that hair really starts to plump up. And that's where the styling glaze really comes in handy. When I'm using this product, that's what allows me to shake that hair. It doesn't get flaky. And then we finished off with that freeze sauce there. And I'm just going to sit here and just bake it a little bit more. Just because I wasn't happy with it. I wanted it bigger. You could stop at any point. Especially with the styling gels, you can stop at any point and just walk out of the house. You don't even have to diffuse. You could probably put the gel in your hair and just leave the house also. Now I'm going to go over it lightly with a cool button. Okay, this is the cool button on the blow dryer. And I'm going to cool her hair down because it's really hot. So I'm just going to cool it down. Which I need to do is cool down. All right. I mean, look at that curl, you guys. Everybody that's watching, that curl is beautiful. You cannot get a better curl than that for her. All right, I'm going to spray just a little bit more here. And we're going to have her lightly sit back. Now you can see it's completely covered her face. That's not what you want to do with the client, but you can see that style coming forward if she wanted to wear her hair forward like that. Okay, I'm going to leave her hair just a little bit like this, so she has that curl all the way around her face. I might grab a little bit over here and separate her apart just a little bit. Okay. That'll give her that little bit of volume here on the front. Okay. And then what you can do with our, I'm going to take this cape off also so you can really see her hair. Okay.
Wow.
If you wanted to, what you would do is you would go in there and you can use an aerosol can. We have this Discipline hairspray, if I like to. And we can go in there and you can prop it up and just spray it a little bit of it. Okay. And that will give her a lot of volume into that front. Now I'm showing you more of the hair. I'm not looking too much for it to fit a certain shape, but I wanted you guys to see how well this product works. Separate. You see how I start to separate this lightly with my fingers. Bring a little bit of volume up. That'll hold that volume in there. Okay. And then you can start to fiddle with her shape. If you don't like the shape in there, what I do is I go in there and I just kind of do this with my fingertips. And that'll help kind of push in any little hairs that get crazy at the end. You see, she has little hairs here. You grab them and you just kind of move them in with your fingertips. I mean, I didn't realize that her hair would get this curly either.
I like that it's not crunchy.
It's not crunchy, it's soft. Yeah.
Yes.
Do we have any questions from this at all?
Do we have any questions from anybody?
Okay. So what I want to do when we're done here is we're just going to have her come over to the black screen here. I'm going to pull her over. That way you guys can see how well that curl came out. Especially against this, you'll be able to see her really well.
Smile.
Yeah, smile. If you want to shake it, get it bigger. But that curl is really pretty there. It's really soft. It's not hard at all. Okay? And if she decided to, if she wanted midday, if she wanted to go in there and spray it a little bit more, then she could. And then she can scrunch it and she could wear it all day. But it looks pretty all the way through. You guys can see that curl. It fluffs. It's not really hard. It's not crunchy. And later on today, we're going to have Madrid Johnson on at 12 o'clock our time.
Arizona time.
He's going to be doing a non-chemical thermal straightening and a haircut for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next Facebook Live. Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.